Hello, scholars, and welcome to level 2-4, Erosion. Before we get started, put your name, date, and page 21 on your notes and complete your rewind review. Name the 3 types of weathering. Make sure you do it. Pause the video. All right. All right, great job. So last week we started talking about destructive and constructive processes. Remember, constructive processes are those that build the surface of the earth. Destructive processes destroy the surface of the earth. All right, last week we discussed the destructive process weathering. We learned that there are 3 types of weathering. The first is mechanical weathering. Mechanical weathering is the breaking down of rock into sediment without changing its chemical composition. The second type of weathering we learned about was biological weathering. Biological weathering is the breaking down of rock into sediment by plants. The third type of weathering we learned about was chemical weathering. Chemical weathering is the breaking down of rock into sediment by changing its chemical composition or makeup. If you didn't get those the 3 types of weathering correct in your notes, go ahead and fill it in now. All right, great job. So what happens when the sediment moves? This process is called erosion. Erosion is also a destructive process, which means it destroys the surface of the earth. Erosion is the movement of sediment from one place to another. Repeat after me. Erosion is the movement of sediment from one place to another. Great job. I need you to remember that weathering and erosion are not the same thing. They are not the same thing. Go ahead and fill that in your notes now. Make sure you pause the video. Did you pause it? All right, great job. Okay, so the causes of weathering, the causes of erosion, Erosion happens when running water, wind, waves, like waves that come in off the ocean, and glaciers pick up dirt or sediment and rock and move them around. All right, go ahead and fill that in your notes now. Make sure you pause the video. All right, great job. Now, what prevents erosion? Plants protect the soil from erosion, and it stops wind and water from being able to pick up the sediment. Go ahead and pause the video and fill that in your notes now. Great job. Erosion creates many different landforms. Some of the landforms it creates are sandbars and floodplains. So erosion is creates floodplains and sandbars. Pause the video and fill that in your notes now. Great job. All right. So, another landform formed by erosion is canyons. Over millions of years, the flowing of rivers can erode steep mountains and create canyons. One of the canyons you learned about in social studies was the Grand Canyon. Over millions of years, the Colorado River flowed through a steep mountain and created the Grand Canyon that we see today. Go ahead and pause the video and fill that in your notes now. Make sure you pause it. All right, great job. Let's move on. All right, so glacial movements can also create landforms caused by erosion. Glaciers move slowly, and as they move, they pick up loose rocks and sediments and materials, and as they do that, they create what is known as a valley. A valley is a big grass area that sits between 2 mountains or 2 steep cliffs. Go ahead and pause the video and fill that in your notes now. Great job. All right. You have officially completed your erosion notes. This is the first time that you watched the video at home, and I'm sure you did a great job. Before you pause the video, before you stop the video, complete the scientist reflection questions. Make sure you complete it in a complete sentence. Remember, sentences begin in a capital letter and end in a punctuation mark. All right, now that you've completed your scientist reflection question, make sure you've watched the video 2 times before logging out. All right, have a great evening. See you tomorrow.